Have you ever wondered why you keep repeating the same emotional patterns, even when you know better? Or why two people can face the same challenge, but one grows stronger while the other shuts down? We like to think personality is something we have, but really, it's something we run. And unless you understand how your system works, it'll keep running you. So, welcome back to Life Skills with Jobin. In this season, as I mentioned in the intro, we're diving deep into the foundation of personal growth, our personality, what shapes it, how it evolves, and why most people never truly change. But before we start, if you have been listening to my channel for a while, thank you for showing up every week. And if this is your first time here, I hope today's episode helps you to see yourself with new clarity. Let's start with a common misunderstanding. Whenever someone says personality development, most people picture a confident speaker, someone charismatic and bold who seems unbothered by anything. But here's the truth, those are traits, not the foundation. I'm sure you've seen someone who looks composed until life throws them off balance. That's because confidence without a stable inner structure eventually cracks. Great. So then, what is the real meaning of personality? I'm glad you asked. Personality is more than how you speak, carry yourself, or show up online. It's the quiet patterns behind all that, the way you think, how you interpret what happens to you, and how your emotions move through your system. Think of it like an iceberg. The part people see, your behavior, your words, and your habits, that's just the surface. But what lies below the surface, that's where personality really lives. Your beliefs, emotional patterns, past experiences, and the mental code running in the background, those are the real drivers. So, while people are often focused on adjusting their tone and posture, the deeper work happens in how you process reality. That deeper awareness determines whether stress breaks you or builds you. So, then why is it so hard for most people to change? Most people don't change not because they can't, but because they focus on the wrong things. They try to act differently instead of thinking differently. They chase motivation instead of building awareness. They treat the symptom instead of healing the system. You can't create real transformation by layering confident behaviors on top of confused thinking. Because when pressure hits, the mask will slip and you go right back to your defaults. Real change begins when you stop forcing new habits and start inspecting the system that's running them. That system is called awareness. You can't improve what you don't notice. But once you clearly see it, change stops being the big mystery. It becomes a skill you can practice. I want you to take this part of the podcast very seriously. Let's make this real with a simple 7-day challenge. I call this the personality audit. For the next week, observe yourself in 3 exact moments, okay? Number 1, when something annoys you, like a traffic, a text, a person. Number 2, when something doesn't go your way, like plans falling apart, delays, disappointment. Or number 3, when you feel insecure or unsure about a decision, your skills, or your worth. Each time, pause and ask yourself, what was the first thought you had? What emotion followed? And how did you react? Did you avoid reacting? How did it impact you? That's it. Don't judge anything yet. Just collect data. So, what's the purpose of this? Most people spend years trying to improve themselves through tips and techniques, but they never stop to notice the mental and emotional loops that push them in circles. By watching your patterns instead of fighting them, you finally step behind your own thoughts. And that moment of awareness is the start of real self mastery. Here's something you need to hold on to. Your current personality isn't who you really are. It's who you have practiced being. It's the sum of your conditioning, emotions, habits, and stories that you have told yourself over time. But a practiced pattern can be upgraded. You're not broken, you're just untrained. And awareness is your training ground. Every time you notice a reaction, whether it's impatience, fear, or self doubt, it's not failure, it's feedback. That reaction is your mind showing you exactly what you need to work on next. As I mentioned before, this season isn't about confidence hacks or surface behaviors. It's about rebuilding the structure underneath, the framework that makes you grounded, calm, and self assured, even when life gets messy. Here's what you can expect from each episode. One deep insight that shifts how you see yourself, one perspective change that will reshape how you respond, and one practical action step you can use right away. When you walk this journey consistently, you'll notice something shift. Instead of trying to be confident, you feel confident. Instead of controlling your emotions, you understand them. And that's when personality stops being performance, it becomes in alignment with your values. So let's recap today's episode. Personality isn't just what you show, it's what you run inside. Most people never change because they focus on outputs instead of inputs. But the moment you bring awareness to what's running automatically, you gain choice, and choice is control. If this episode gave you something to reflect on, save it and revisit it later. And if you know someone who's been feeling stuck, share this with them. It might be exactly what they need to hear. Next time, we're going deeper into the invisible forces that are shaping your behavior, even before you realize it, like emotional memory, mental filters, and subtle biases you didn't even know you had. And I promise you, once you see them, you'll never look at your patterns the same way again. Thanks for listening to Life Skills with Jobin. Until next time, stay aware, stay grounded, and keep upgrading the system within you.